So we've got chapter 23, shopping trolley. The boy lay still on his deflated lilo, listening to Dad and Auntie Flip talking in the living room. After a few minutes, Frank's bedroom door opened a little and Dad peered in. The boy shut his eyes tight in the pantomime of sleep. "I'm sorry, mate," Dad whispered, "but I've got no choice. I have to do this for both of us." Frank opened one eye the tiniest bit. He saw his dad framed in the doorway. It was something Frank thought he'd never see again. His father had his old racing gear on. It was a red, white and blue boiler suit, which he'd not worn since the accident. Now the suit was all crumpled, grimy and tight on him since his tummy had expanded. Frank knew his father was up to no good. He had to find out what. The next sound the boy heard was the front door opening. Clunk. As soon as he heard that front door closing, clunk, the boy leaped out from his lilo and made another little dummy of himself in case Auntie Flip poked her head round the door. He pushed his feet into his slippers in a rush, putting the left one on his right foot and the right foot on his left. In the living room, Auntie Flip could be heard composing another poem. "Looking at you would always make me dotty, from your eyes, your toes, and even your little bottom." No, Botty, this is genius! There wasn't time tonight to wait for the lady to go to the toilet. Frank had decided he had to create a diversion. He crawled into the kitchen and turned on the tap. He then snuck himself behind the door just as Auntie Flip trundled into the room. "Most peculiar," said the lady as she walked over to the sink and turned off the tap. "I hope this place isn't haunted. Ghosts give me the willies." Frank seized his moment. He rushed around the kitchen door, ran down the hallway. With the sound of the tap still gushing, he opened the front door. The boy closed the door behind him and peered over the walkway. From up there on the 99th floor, his father was now a little dot moving across the car park below. Frank leaped into his washing basket and flew down the stairs. Just as he reached the bottom, he saw his dad limp over to the Rolls Royce. The last one was white, but this one was silver. Was it the same car? The engine was running and 3 men from the other night were inside. This time Fingers was at the driving seat with little Mr. Big seated next to him. The mighty Thumbs was sitting in the back. He was so heavy the car was tilted over to one side. "You're late," snarled Mr. Big. "Sorry, Governor," said Dad. "Get in, and you better do what we say, or there'll be trouble." Dad climbed in, and the Rolls Royce roared off. Frank felt as if he'd been punched hard in the stomach. His dad had lied to him. He was going off to do no good with these bad men. The boy had to stop his father before it was too late, but he had a problem. How on earth was he going to be able to follow a car on foot? He wasn't as fast a runner as it was. Frank spotted a discarded shopping trolley upturned on the grass. The boy righted it, and he ran alongside as if it was toboggan before leaping in. By some miracle, this shopping trolley was the one shopping trolley in the world that didn't have wonky wheels. It sped along the road, passing an old deer chugging along near Morris Minor. Frank seized his chance and held on to the side of the car. Whizzing down the road now, the Rolls Royce was just a few cars ahead. The traffic lights turned red, and all the cars slowed down to stop. Frank pushed away from the Morris Minor so he could catch up with the Rolls Royce. So as not to be seen, Frank ducked his head. He grabbed onto the boot handle of the Rolls Royce just as the light turned green. When the car zoomed off, so did Frank. Night was falling, and after a few minutes the Rolls Royce turned off into the industrial estate. The road became bumpy, and the boy was thrown up and down in his trolley. As he could sense the Rolls was slowing down to stop, Frank let go of the car. Without any brakes, the shopping trolley trundled off at speed. The front wheels hit the pavement and the trolley did a somersault. Frank crash-landed into a hedge. The boy was now caged in an upside-down shopping trolley. He pushed it upwards, untangled his pyjamas from the branches of the bush and hid behind a burnt-out old burger van. Frank watched as the 4 men got out of the Rolls Royce and looked around. As it was Saturday night, the industrial estate was empty of people. Rusty old garage doors squeaked open and 3 of the men disappeared inside. It was that magical sound again. Out zoomed the yellow Mini, coming to a stop a centimetre from Mr. Big's foot. "Very clever, Gilbert," snarled the crime boss. "So this heap of junk is the getaway car?" "Trust me, Mr. Big," replied Dad. "Her name is Queenie. I built her with my own hands, and she is the greatest racing car in the world." Thank you for listening, everyone. See you next time.